man? Yeah. HA's like, how are we going to know? Because you're right, man. We got to make sure. Okay, it's going green. We got a green light so far. Hey, guys, welcome to No Sellouts. I want to make sure we got a sound check going on. Can you hear H.A. Goodman?
Tim Black.
H.A. the house. What's up?
can can Milan and everybody watching? Can you hear me? And can you? Well, I know you can hear Tim, but can you hear me?
We hear you. Thanks, NSO. Love the show. Our Resistance TV. Jonathan Melton, Milan, Jonathan, yeah, Eric in the house, Becca C. And yes, we're good to go.
All right.
Jenny Lynn says, hello, you sexy revolutionaries. So, well, look, everybody, we already did our intro. What the hell, man? It feels weird. Let me do it again. Hey, guys, welcome to No Sellouts. I'm your man, Tim Black. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, as usual, I have my partner in truth, H.A. Goodman.
Tim Black.
That's what it is, man. Great to have you, my brother. That's what it is. What's going on, H.A.?
Tim, I'm going on a trip, and I'm wondering if you know of any good airlines.
How about United?
Okay, good. That's You know what? I heard the customer service is really good in United, and I heard they don't rip you from your seat and drag you down the plane. Um,
what
Whoa,
airline
man.
was that? Which airline was it that dragged them, man?
Yeah, it was United.
It was
It was
United. God.
yeah,
Okay.
United Airlines. My God.
Oh man, is that the same airline that was in the news recently? I forget which one. Someone they put the girls off because they had leggings or something. Like they like
It's crazy. I mean,
yeah, you
did
heard
you?
that story though, right? Like there was an airline who wouldn't let women ride these young girls, these teenagers, because they had on like yoga pants or leggings or something. I
Oh,
did a
I didn't
story.
hear that.
I did a story on that. That was
Okay.
like I think that was United. Anybody know who that was? We got a Delta. Someone says Delta. United
Delta. Okay.
sucks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I think I flew Virgin. I don't know, man. When I went to Cali, I think I flew Virgin.
You went to Cali when?
Oh, this was last year, man, when I did Dr.
Oh,
Phil.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Next time you come, you gotta call me.
Oh, no doubt, man. First person I'm calling, H.A.
That's what goes
Goodman.
out. It goes without saying.
That's right, man. Happy
But
Passover, by the way, H.A.
thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank
Yeah,
you so
man. No
much.
doubt, man. So
Um,
we got so much to talk about, man. Where you want to start at? It's crazy.
I think I wrote an article and thank you for retweeting, Tim. I really appreciate that. In Counterpropa and the Huffington Post. And in all seriousness, it's Trump. Trump could start World War III with another Syria airstrike. And I'm dead serious about this. And of course, nobody believed us when we said that Clinton would lose. And I'm serious about this because number one, Russia has 4,000 soldiers, over 4,000 soldiers in Syria right now. They've conducted twice as many airstrikes as we have. We have numerous allies throughout the Middle East. They only have Iran and Syria. They have decades of a relationship, military, political relationship, economic relationship with Syria. They will never, ever allow regime change, especially regime change through force. In 2012, in 2013, the United Nations and Russia and Kofi Annan and the UN, and in a separate deal, Russia proposed several peace deals. Clinton and President Obama ignored those peace. They said, you know what? If we can't have Assad out, we don't want any peace there. And you got several 100,000 who died, millions and millions who have been refugees. And here we have Trump is just he's getting bullied, and he is doing everything he said that he wasn't going to do pertaining to regime change.
Right.
And it's unbelievable because now we officially have two parties have merged on a war, and now they're all kissing his ass because they love Clinton's foreign policy, the neoconservative foreign policy. So now the media, can you believe Brian Williams? The missiles are leaving, are heading towards Syria, and he's saying they're beautiful. What a beautiful photo.
What a scumbag
So
Brian Williams is, man. This guy likes, he's one of these weird guys who likes that type of, I don't know, man. That's disgusting, man. He likes prawn. I don't know, man. That guy likes war porn, and there's nothing beautiful about a rocket. And look, luckily, this thing, HA, dude, what's up with their aim game? Their aim game was really bad. For a precision strike, it didn't have much precision, from what I understand.
no, none of the strikes are precision. The drone strikes is not precision. I mean, there's one estimate: 4,000 people during President Obama's administration were killed during the drone strikes when we tried to, we're going after terrorists. But there's no. First of all, Tulsi Gabbard is 100% right. I know you love Tulsi, so do I.
Mm-hmm.
And No Sellouts loves Tulsi Gabbard.
No doubt.
The reason, you see, it's interesting. The people we love, Tim, Neera Tanden and Howard Dean hate. Isn't that funny?
That is funny how that works. Or it also could be, the people that we love don't, they don't do well with corporate sellouts, corporate shields, the corporate structure, the establishment culture, and the Democratic Party, man. So that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's unbelievable. I feel like we're like that dude at the United plane, and it's like Hillary Clinton and the Democrats pulling us off.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable because we already had Iraq. Well, first of all, this is something that nobody talks about. What do we learn from Vietnam? What have we learned as a country from Vietnam?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. And we had Ford, Carter, and Reagan,
mm-hmm.
and then George H.W. Bush went into Iraq. So that 15, 16-year span, we had the specter, the ghost of Vietnam. We knew that, hey, we have a military conflict intervention. It could last forever, and 60,000 Americans could die. And the crazy thing about Vietnam is there were Sigma, they were called the Sigma analysis, and they actually did predictions and analysis in war games before Vietnam, and that stated it was two major reports stating we'd lose, and we still went in. And
of course, because there was money to be made.
Money to be made,
Yeah.
We had to stop the Russians.
And you're right. We had to stop the Russians. It seems like there's always going to be a group of Americans, and look, I'm new to white tracking politics to this extent. Just a regular guy, who watched it occasionally on the news. But over the last couple of years, man, I realize there's a number of Americans who just fall hook, line, and sinker for whatever the establishment puts out. They don't question anything. And when you brought up Tulsi Gabbard, I was thinking how. Now, I did a piece covering her where these people want her removed. Like the Democrats want her out just for questioning, hey, do we have any evidence for this stuff? Just for saying we should, make sure that we're right before we do this because we're already bogged down in the Middle East. This won't help the Syrian people. This won't free anyone if we just start bombing and we end up in a even more catastrophic war with Russia. We could. At least a war by proxy anyway, because they're going to be, so these people that buy into this HA, man, dude, what do we do about them? I know it's we need to do something about these people because, and these people are championing the Neera Tandons and the Howard. They're championing them, man. They're clapping for these people who are clapping for Hillary, who are clapping for Trump right now, and I don't know, man. I'm feeling a little more pissed off than usual.
There is a way, and I'm not saying that I want it to happen, there's a way to really screw them, Tim. And the only way to defeat them, I think, they'll get the message. At least more of them will get the message. I'm not saying I want this to happen. I'm not going to work for this.
Okay.
But the only way is another Trump win.
You think that'll do it?
I'll tell you what. Trump winning, they can chalk it up as, oh my God, that's just, that's a fluke. So if you go up and you play a game with somebody, you're supposed to be the expert, but that person wins, you can say, oh, beginner's luck.
Yeah.
Now it's all about donors. They raised $1.2 billion. Yeah. Trump only raised $600 million. Now he's going to raise just as much, if not more, than Democrats. Democrats are screwed. In terms of, they don't have any bold messages like Tulsi Gabbard, Nina Turner, or Bernie Sanders. They don't have bold messages.
And when they do, they squash them.
Oh yeah, when they do, they squash them.
Yeah.
Or they pick the most diluted. So they're not running on a message that people be like, okay, here's $5, here's $10. Let's, I believe in this. Let's make this happen. They're going after. Tom Perez was elected to go after big corporate donors, Wall Street, everything. Now there's going to be a point if they lose in 2020. There's going to be a point where really rich people are like, I'm not going to pay $30,000 for this cold fish and Chardonnay or whatever iced tea. I'm not. They're going to. The donors will rebel.
Right.
People like you and me, we already rebelled, but we don't. They don't care about the money that we can give them, or they don't care. The Neera Tandons and the Howard Deans of the world don't care what we have to say. They care what the donors have to say. They don't care about war or breaking up banks because to them it's unrealistic and you have to defeat Trump. But the funny thing is, this Syria strike, they should have gotten more upset than even the immigrant ban. But they got more upset over the immigrant ban than the Syria strike. So if you ban Muslims, that oh my God! But if you bomb the Muslim people, oh, okay, no problem. And you're not doing yourself any favors if you're Trump, because his thing is, well, they're going after me. They're saying I'm a Russian. I worked with Russia, so I'm going to go ahead and bomb Syria. This will show everybody that I didn't work with Russia, but they don't care. They're never going to stop attacking him ever. So he's trying to appease the same people who want him out at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's counterproductive. It's not going to work.
Yeah, let's get into that, man. So why do you think that Trump went in, decided to do something that he said he would not do? He spoke extremely, resoundingly. Like he spoke from a position. He wasn't equivocal, man. He was like, look, we're not going to do this. It's wrong to do this. It's wrong to go into Syria. We don't need to get bogged down in Syria. We don't need. He been calling it out for years, and then he goes into office. And his first, I would say, his personal military decision was to do this because I don't think he had as much say in Yemen. Like Yemen, I think was an ongoing operation. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I look at this.
Right.
This as being his first real like, okay, let's do this. So what do you think influenced him? You said Jared Kushner before. Some people say Ivanka Trump.
Well, I think it was what he was trying to do. He has people advising him, and he always wants to be different from Obama. So Obama had the red line, and right. That red line, and then he didn't attack Syria, which was a smart thing, but he did send soldiers there, which was a bad thing. One reason could be, okay, he wants to, if there's a chemical attack, he wants to show that he's different from President Obama. He wants to show that he actually will abide by a red line. The next thing is that they had a little power struggle in their cabinet. Like it was like a right-wing conservative power struggle where Bannon was kicked out of the National Security Council for H.R. McMaster, the National Security Advisor, won out, and Bannon was kicked out. So Bannon was the isolationist. The alt-right, they fall in sometimes to, because they're isolationists, they don't want immigrants. That also means they don't want regime change. So that's good.
Yeah, at least that's
And that's another thing.
Be one way or the other way. Yeah, be one way or the other. Yeah.
But also, it's people. Just because somebody voted for Trump doesn't mean that they love war.
Right.
It could be somebody who voted for Trump, just like Bernie Sanders has said, just like you've said, that you know what, they're tired of the Clintons, they're tired of Democrats. They want somebody. They might not even like the immigrant ban, all that stuff, but they want somebody who puts America first. Whatever that means, they think that they're tired and they were betrayed. And those people, and it's interesting. Slate ran this article and all these progressive publications. Whoa, the nefarious link between the alt-right and the left against Trump's airstrikes. What happened to anti-war?
It
And
doesn't
there's
exist.
no,
Yeah.
it doesn't exist. What happened to being anti-war? This is probably the most important progressive value you would think, or liberal value. One would think that liberals and progressives don't want war, but it's the opposite in our country. They love war. They love war. If you buy a handgun, like if Tim Black or H.A. Goodman put on Twitter, "Hey, bought my new handgun, bought my new Glock, or bought a hunting rifle," oh my God, oh my God, we would be Charles Manson. But if we go out, we speak out against war, we speak against Trump's strikes, we speak against Obama and Libya and Clinton and weapons deals, then you're being disloyal. How dare you? Because the neoconservatives they run the show now. They
Right.
run the show.
Well, people are easily manipulated when it comes to death of children or women. Guys, you can kill guys all day, but when you start killing kids or women die or children die, then it's easily to tap into the emotions of the people, and that's exactly what they did here. They're using the death of these people by however it happened, because I hear some people saying, "Tim, this looks like a false flag to me. This is a false flag written all over it." That may be the case. I don't know, but I tell you this: these people are not failing to use this as a momentum to get things done that they want to get done, which is what they always do. They always take any instance to try to push forth their agenda. What's really pissed me off about it, HA, was the whole they're even blaming Trump. So he bombs the airstrip, but since they say, now I need you to confirm this, that he called Russia ahead of time.
Yeah, well, I read that. I read that too. But what do these idiots want? They want to bomb Syria and not tell Russia also?
Right. That's
So
what I'm
then
saying.
Russia,
It's crazy.
so then Russia says, what's going on? Okay, let's go ahead and ready our military because we don't know what the United States is doing. These
What
people are
is
insane.
right? What is
Um,
this? Oh,
yeah.
what you launch bomb? Bomb you launch. You like war? Fine. Like war too. And then what?
Exactly.
Then what?
Yeah.
Hillary's gonna be in the woods in her, I don't know what that was. In her, I don't know, in her action jacket. No, in her Eddie Murphy all leather suit.
Raw.
Raw.
Eddie Raw.
And it's going to be your kids. See, someone posted a great quote. I forget exactly how it goes, but it's sort of like this: the people that want war are never the people that are going to go.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're not going, and it's never their kids that are there in the midst of the bombs. You know what I'm saying? So like, you're not only are McCain and Graham, Lindsey Graham, and these other warmongers not a part of their family not going. They're not also. It's also not happening in their backyard. Man, Syria used to be a pretty decent place. Had some beautiful monuments. No more.
Yeah.
No more, brother.
It's unbelievable. What's the craziest thing of this Syria airstrike from Trump? The craziest thing is that the deterrent for Trump to not do this again comes from the right. It doesn't come from the left because his base is pissed.
Yeah.
So his base is pissed off, and there's a lot of the Daily Beasts and the Slates and the near attendants of the world. They want everyone to think that any Trump voter is just this, racist, sexist, homophobic person.
Make America great again.
Yeah.
Kill the Mexicans. Get rid of the Mexicans and the blacks and all the gays. And they can use the bathroom at home, and yeah, that's what they do. That's the way they paint these people. When, like you said, HA, in reality, it's people from all over the spectrum, and those people happen to have a little bit less of worship syndrome in their blood because they're actually calling Trump out on this stuff.
They're calling Trump, exactly.
You know, would the Democrats be calling out Hillary? No.
No. Are you
No.
kidding? If you call out Hillary, there's a big problem. I'm just it's unbelievable that there's no more anti-war movement. It's unbelievable that Bush's neoconservatives now run foreign policy in the Democratic Party, and it's unbelievable that the average journalist. Oh, okay. The New York Times won the Pulitzer Prize for their coverage on Russia. Okay, do you want to know what their coverage was? Exposing Putin's efforts to further Russian. It was something so broad that it wasn't even an accomplishment. It was basically furthering the Democratic talking points. Here's the Pulitzer Prize, and then there's a guy, David Fahrenthold, in the Washington Post. He did all this work on the Trump Foundation. Fine, but he won the Pulitzer for the Trump Foundation. David Sirotto actually broke a weapons deal scandal that from the Clinton Foundation that was far bigger than anything this guy at the Washington Post reported on. Far bigger.
I mean, Panama Papers big like that.
Oh my God! It's like. Yeah, and that didn't get the Pulitzer, but if you were anti-Trump or anti-Russia, you get the Pulitzer Prize. And it's like I tweeted the Pulitzer Prize to the New York Times, Washington Post. It's like, the pictures of Gaddafi with his different medals.
Yeah,
it's like that. It's like a dictator who just puts medals on himself and says, "Oh, I'm this courageous, amazing war hero," but it's actually him just putting 30 medals
on himself.
Yeah, on himself, showing off.
Yeah, or threatening to kill the other guy if he doesn't put them on him. Like,
exactly.
You better give me these medals. You want to live, right? These
exactly.
Medals. This one, I don't care what it's for. Just give me that medal. But see, here's the thing, man. They say that Susan Rice, right? Because I know we say we're going to talk about that. Susan Rice, they gave her 4 Pinocchios in the Washington Post, but weren't they saying she was right until like the chemical?
Yes.
So
backstabbers.
They had to do that, right? They had to slam her because either she's right, either she's wrong or they're wrong.
Well, right? You know what's really funny about Susan Rice? Exactly. It's sad. The spying story is not about Susan Rice. It's not about Trump's tweet. It's about President Obama spying on Trump because of Clinton. That's the whole story. But nobody, just like with Clinton, they wanted Clinton to say, I used the server to hide from Freedom of Information Act laws. They want Obama to actually say, oh, yeah, I spied on Trump because we were afraid Clinton might lose and we wanted an insurance policy in case she lost. That's never going to happen. But Susan Rice took the fall after Benghazi. She was on the shows when Hillary Clinton should have been on the shows or President Obama should have been on the morning shows.
Right.
And she took the fall then. She's also taking the fall now. But all she could have done was when Devin Nunes came out and said, oh, yeah, we have intelligence that Obama officials unmasked Trump names. March 22nd, all she could have said was, yeah, that was me. I did that. And by the way, there's no problem. I didn't leak anything. Right. She said, I know nothing about that.
Absolutely she did. Yeah, that's exactly what she did.
So she lied about it.
On Benghazi, she said, she was the one who came out and said that it was a videotape, a movie that these people spontaneously reacted to. And that we know that's not true. And then you got Trump surveillance. And now we got this. And she said that the Assad gave up the bombs, the chemical armaments, when he voluntarily gave them up and they verified it. But that's not true now?
Exactly. It's, you know what it is? They can't get their story straight because the New York Times at first said, and before the election said, oh, investigating Trump, FBI finds no link to Russia. Then they had to really turn it in overdrive. Same with the Washington Post with Flynn. They're like, oh, yeah, the FBI looked at his calls, no wrongdoing. Then they had to spin it again. Same with Susan Rice. First, she was, how dare Trump do this? Now, because the narrative is, I guess Trump isn't that bad after all. He did bomb somebody.
Yeah.
So Hillary would have bombed somebody too. So that makes Trump good.
Yeah. This is how hypocritical they are, man. They just have interest.
Oh my God.
They just have interest. They want served, and they don't much care who serves them. That's why I think if Trump proves that he'll play ball, who cares? Like, they don't care. Like,
they don't care. Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point. They don't care. If he plays ball, they really don't care. They might even lose the election on purpose.
Yeah, because he could do all the bad things they want him to do.
Yeah.
And he could take the fall for it. You know?
Yeah.
And they, like you said, they do what? They raise money in opposition.
They raise money. It's there's no, if you provoke, this is the thing. There's nothing specific that the Democratic Party fears Putin or Trump. There's nothing specific that they could pin on Russia. Russia's not going to invade any of its neighbors. It invaded Ukraine. It had a military conflict with Ukraine, and then with Georgia. It's neighboring countries, but there's no tension between any other neighboring countries. Mm-hmm. So, and President Obama did nothing, and Bush did nothing. So there's no military conflict on the horizon between Russia and anyone in Eastern Europe. So that's off the list. Mm. They're not in as many countries as we are. That's off the list. They're not trying to. It's not like the Soviet Union during the Cold War. What is on the list? What specifically can we say that Russia hurts our national interest? How? Now they're getting to the promoting values we don't like. Promoting values we don't like? Yeah. Like, you mean not agreeing with us on everything? That's a value that you don't like? You don't agree with me, so you're a threat because you don't agree with me. Therefore, we should. You're a big threat, big horrible. Putin is not like this is actually something Trump was right on. Putin is no choir boy. But 96 journalists were killed from 1991 to 2009 in Russia. Many of them could have been probably killed by the Kremlin. Okay. After 2009, we sold them. President Obama approved the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. We didn't care about the journalists killed in Russia. We didn't care about the anti-gay, anti-homophobic laws in Russia.
Right.
And that's been going on for years. What did we say? We didn't say anything about that. So we're the biggest hypocrites on the planet.
96,000? How many?
No, 96 journalists, not 96,000.
96. My bad. I couldn't. Goodness. That's still a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Someone commented in my comment section. They said that when someone said that how many journalists? Russia doesn't have any journalists, and the guy said, "Yes, we do. They're dead, but they're there." I was like, "Oh man." So I didn't know the number of people that have been killed, like journalists. That's a horrible thing, man. So is America? I don't know. Is America starting to take starting to look at its news, its independent news, in the same way, like maybe like a threat? You know, like this whole fake news thing. I don't mean they're going to start killing people, but I mean I don't know. But the whole fake news thing, like that's They and we both know that only came about because of Hillary Clinton losing. Like, no one cares what you do unless you mess up their money.
Of course. Well, you know what's funny, and it's the Tim Black show. Tim Black is extremely important. You provide a great voice. You provide WikiLeaks. Mm-hmm. I try to do it also. There's thank you. There's other people out there, but the important thing about, let's say, Tim Black and WikiLeaks or independent media is that the Washington Post, it's already known, has some link to the CIA. Several links. It's already known. That's not even a conspiracy theory. Mm-mm. So, and you talk about the circumstantial evidence. There's enough circumstantial evidence to know that journalists in the New York Times were deemed friendly journalists and teed up stories. Maggie Haberman is one of them. In the New York Times, she's in the WikiLeaks emails. The Intercept wrote about Maggie Haberman. Glenn Thrush, who worked at Politico, now works at New York Times. He actually gave Podesta, pre-publication, something to look over and said, "Oh, don't tell anybody. I know what I'm doing is wrong." So American media, and there's a whole bunch, like 5 other journalists that were just completely outed.
Vetting,
so they're
vetting stories through the Podesta.
They're practically working for Hillary Clinton. They're working for the Clinton campaign and the Democratic Party. The fact that they could do what they did to Bernie and the mere knowledge of that. So WikiLeaks, their major crime was letting us know how effed up the Democratic Party was to its most progressive voters. Just knowing that helps Russia. It's not like, it's not like the Democrats say, "Gosh, let's fix this." No, they're doubling down on their horrible hand.
Absolutely. And shutting down any dissenting voices. I mean, even reasonable voices like, look, I didn't hear Democrats saying to other Democrats, "We need more information about Iraq." I didn't hear anybody like, oh, we need to get you out of office, because you just said we need more information before we go into Iraq.
Oh, that's it.
They've gotten worse, H.A.
They got worse. They got much worse.
This is worse. I mean, Tulsi can't even say, let's get more information. She didn't say, "You're a liar. You suck. What's wrong with you?" Did he call out Hillary? Didn't even. I don't remember. I don't think she even called out Trump by name. She was very specific. Like, look, we need more evidence. We need more proof. And these people are calling for a job. They want her out. They want her unseated. So they're way off the deep end, bro.
I think that Tulsi Gabbard has a couple things up on them. Now, number one, she left the DNC and went to Bernie. So that is just the antithesis of Donna Brazile or Debbie Wasserman Schultz or Hillary Clinton. Like she put her value system and her principles ahead of anything. Right when she left the DNC, she was part of the DNC. She left it to be with Bernie because she probably saw the corruption. And she wanted to be with Bernie Sanders, especially because he was against all these wars. The next big thing that Tulsi Gabbard has is the fact that she's the only anti-war politician in the United States of America, at least the one with the biggest name recognition. She has the biggest name recognition of any anti-war person in Congress, and
who's also a veteran, right?
She's a veteran,
right?
And she's a veteran, and she already has the name recognition, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. So they want her out. Everybody now, if you're into politics, you know who Tulsi Gabbard is. You don't really, you kind of maybe know who Howard Dean is, or but you don't. But anyone who knows, anybody who's into politics right now or progressive politics knows Tulsi Gabbard, because she provides a voice that she's the only voice in the Democratic Party aside from Bernie Sanders. But Bernie is still there and he's amazing, but he's almost in a way, helping the Democrats. Without Bernie, could you imagine where the Democratic Party would be right now? If he just said, F you, I'm out.
They'd be done. They'd be done. Like, he's holding them together right now. And if he'd let go of the string, I wish he would, actually. I wish he would. But his vantage point is, maybe we can, I don't know. I mean, really, look how they reacted with Trump in Syria. So he's not going to, for whatever reason, he's not going to. But Tulsi Gabbard is a threat for many reasons, primarily because she hates the neocon foreign policy. She's calling them out on regime change. Nobody's calling them out. And it's unbelievable. We always, not our soldiers give everything, and they're courageous and brave, and they suffer because of the politicians. Right.
1 million Americans injured, right. Hundreds of thousands of traumatic brain injuries, because half to 2/3 of all the Americans killed and wounded were the victims of IED blasts.
Right.
So these IEDs, you could be far away from them and it'll still affect your brain. And Tulsi Gabbard's the only person, aside from Bernie, talking about this?
Nina Turner. I don't know if has she
Tina
spoken out
Turner.
about it.
Yeah,
I don't know if she spoke out about
I
the.
think she has. I think she has. I think
I
she
think
has
she
as well.
retweeted one of my tweets, man, about getting more information. Actually, I know she did. Okay, so
That's awesome.
the tweet was that we needed, seeing the death of children affects me like it does anyone else, but we need more evidence before we do anything else. And she
Exactly.
retweeted that, and that's big that she would retweet that because I didn't tag her in it. She just saw it, but so HA's got to leave early because today's a holiday for him. HA, real quick, man, how are you dealing with the censorship? Are you okay? Has your channel been demonetized? What's going on?
Well, I noticed that there's a lot of if you talk about Syria too much, they'll screw you. But I've noticed really weird segments that you think are okay. Suddenly, it's you have not been monetized. Then you have to review it,
Right.
and then like we talked about, you review, and it takes like a long time for the review you know process.
Right.
So, but it's I just
Look, HA, you can go to HA's website to support his shows, guys. If we want to just cut the middleman out, go to counterproper.com. He's got a donate button right there on his website. HA, man, might want to think about getting a Patreon account, bro.
I'm going to this
Okay.
week, and I appreciate our discussion, and I'm going to for sure this week.
All right. Definitely.
But hey, if you're watching, Tim Black has a Patreon, and Tim Black is, I have to say, one of the most pure and honest voices on YouTube in American politics. Really, you just get whatever he truly feels. That is what you get. And there's this, and really, and it's all coming from a good place. It's all coming from a place of knowledge, intelligence, but also caring and heart. So, what can I tell you?
Hey, man, you just said a lot, man. Thank you so much, brother. And I
Tim,
appreciate you,
thank
man.
you. And I'll see you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next week. And let's just hope Trump doesn't. And real quick before I leave, he's open to more airstrikes. Can you believe this?
God.
Unbelievable. But Tim, man, I'll see you next Monday.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself. Give it up for
Thank
H.A.
you.
Goodman, guys. H.A.
Thank you.
Goodman. You know it, brother. Go see H.A. Goodman. Go see H.A. You got him on Twitter, H.A. Goodman Author. He's on Facebook. Follow him there as H.A. Goodman. Once again, counterproper.com. That's his website. He does his writing. I retweet his stuff. And H.A. is a great friend of the show, man. That's my brother, and I enjoy doing this show with him. So, guys, that's what's up. What a show. Yeah, I knew it was going to be kind of tight with the schedule, but we weren't going to cancel. And it's Passover for H.A. and it's him and his family. So, what can I tell you guys? Got a lot going on. Got a lot of videos coming your way. Everyone who supports this channel, thank you so much, guys. It's like I'm really humbled, man, by the number of people who came out, man. I'm feeling like, I feel like I'm Kyle Kalinske, man. I feel like I'm Jimmy Dore. You guys really appreciate me. And thank you. Thank you so much. Look, more content on the way. And just know it. Shout out to all my people. Shout out to Bon Kim, Broken Carpenter, Iron Man Eyes. Also, I need some volunteers to become admins on Facebook to be able to block the trolls, because I can't live stream on Facebook because these trolls keep coming and they're flagging me down on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook a lot, if you usually watch the show on Facebook and you want to take up the gauntlet and you want to hold it down for me on Facebook, that'd be real cool. Hit me up at tim@timblacktv.com and you'll be able to have troll blocking power because we need it. They're trying to destroy my fan page. Took me 2 years to build that fan page. I ain't gonna go out like that. We gonna fight. So that's it. That's it, guys. Hey, thank you, Jenny Lynn. I appreciate you. Juan Banda. Shout out Juan Banda. I just did Juan Banda. What's up? Shout out to Ulrich Christine, Tracy Lynn, Jay Bland, and Teresa, Ginger Beeler, Pat Hacker, Kay Doolittle, Jilly Love, Angel Tibbs, Jay Bird, what up? Carmelita Foutois, Jeffrey Hyde, Chrissy Workman, I love it. I love it. Jeremy Walker, Troy Miklos, Eric, the whole crew, man. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you on the next one. Oh, and don't forget, guys, please don't forget, Thursday, I have somebody who I admire, respect, and appreciate. Cool guy, too. Josh Fox, filmmaker Josh Fox, on the show Thursday. We just going to keep doing it and doing it well. Someone said, Tim, I hate when Tim, you talk about too much stuff. This guy, I'm a show host, man. And people like coming on the show, and I love politics, and I love fighting for causes. So I'm a lot of things, but I'm fortunate enough to have great people come on the show, man. And I want to give that to you guys. I want to give you the best people with the most interesting people. There's no best people. Everybody's great. But, interesting people with interesting stories and things that we can learn about, man. I'm excited about 2017. I'm not going to let no freaking YouTube drama steal my joy. You feel me? Hey, great people on this show. Abby Martin, Joe Webb, H.A. Goodman, and we're just going to keep going. And this week, Josh Fox, we're going to keep bringing you great guests. And we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to keep speaking truth, too. All right, guys. I love you. And like I always say, don't you let nobody take your cornbread. I'm trying to keep mine. Make sure you keep yours. I see you on the next one. Shout out to Momo Pineno for all you do, brother. This buzz for you.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True.
Say good night to the bad guy. Come on.